Hey y'all, it's CherokeeStarfish back again this weekend with some more Might and Magic 6, The Mandate of Heaven. And we are in the middle of doing some side quests. We're tying up all of the non-main story quests that are left to us before we tackle the search for the Oracle's memory crystals. So, last weekend, we ousted the usurper king of the dwarves, Snurgle. We cleared out his iron mines and his personal caverns and took him down. And we also dug up the treasure of the mysterious obelisks, which I actually I wanted to do this last weekend, and I got so into the actual search itself, and trying to find like the location where the treasure's buried, and then not being able to find it, and deciding to go around and grab all of the obelisks in order to see if that made it spawn and so forth. And a lot of that was just me being me. So it kind of got lost in the shuffle. I forgot to explain how it is that you know where to find the obelisk treasure and like what these nonsense clues mean, right? Because you may have noticed that each of these individually, they don't do anything. Like they're not some sort of weird code or anything. They don't read backwards. It's not a Caesar cipher or anything like that. Instead, I wanted to explain this is how you actually read them and why they're all important, why you should try and get all 15 of them. It's because once you have them all, you read them vertically. And that is what gives you the clue. Like, see, it says, in the land space of the dragons, or dragon, so we know dragon sand, to north by something. It can be hard to decipher if they're not all written out because the font is not like a monotype where all of the letters have the same number of spaces. And so actually years and years ago, back in the 90s when I first decoded this, it was by writing everything out by hand on grid paper and putting all of the letters out. And I had grid paper because, of course, I have always played a lot of Dungeons and Dragons. And so I was able to put all of that out, put each letter in one square, and look for patterns. And once it's all written out and the columns actually line up, it's not that difficult of a puzzle. You just have to see it and like hear the columns kind of run together, and it doesn't really read very easily. What it actually says is, in the land of the dragon to north by far northeast lies the cache of the captain neath the weight of the least. Hid for the ship of the sun before her functions ceased. Lift the stone and you have won this riddle's puzzle pieced. So there you go. And that is how we know like what we're looking for and where to look for it. Now, the whole thing about the ship of the sun and so forth, we will get into that a little bit more later. That does tie into the story. We'll overlook the fact that it had certain artifacts in it, such as, I think it's Guinevere. Yeah, where it says, no, it's Igraine. Yes, because it says Lord Solomon's Stone had this ring commissioned. High Priest of the Path in 1018. So that's not Lord Anthony Stone, the one we're dealing with. That's one of his ancestors. I'm not sure exactly how long ago it was, but it was not long enough ago that it actually jives with the letters of the riddle, and we'll get to that part. So. Ooh. Is that so? Okay, so for those of you who may have missed it, or who, in case you're watching this like on the YouTube upload, if you have trouble reading the font or it doesn't show everything, if you go to Corlagon's estate and go to the open space with that narrow plank, the little windy spiral room where it's easy to fall off, I'm presuming, there is a picture of a monk with a candle, and it's a treasure chest. And because you cannot fly indoors, the only way to open it is with telekinesis, kind of like that one I showed you last time, where it's actually past the invisible wall that forms the boundary of Paradise Valley. So you can't walk up to it. You have to use telekinesis as the only way to open it. Okay, a special ring and some other stuff. Well, we'll go check that out. There's no reason not to. Let's see. First, I need to give this to somebody else. We'll just trade these two. It occurred to me between sessions that because he's got E-Grain, I don't think these effects stack, and even if they do, this is better on somebody else. It's still bizarre that we found our first, like, of a magic skill item right before we got the obelisk treasure and we dug up Guinevere, E-Grain, and Morgan. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, that gives us another objective. I love fan objectives. If you guys have something that you know about the game that I don't, please share it with me, because that is new to me. I would never have known that. That's an experimentation thing. Somebody found that out, and I am so glad that you shared it with me, and I'm really excited to go hunt that up. We'll see if that jives. Now here is what Debbie was able to make from stuff in between sessions, and also this is something that we found in a high-level treasure chest. So we'll check a look here. We've got an Amulet of Charm, personality plus 21. Now I'm not sure if that's better than what...
Nothing I can do.
Oh, wow. I wonder how long that's been broken. Probably one of those dragons or titans or something hit us. So yeah, this is 15 endurance, regenerate hit points. She's got Morgan. She's not taking that off, because she's the only one that has that magic anyway, unless we give it to Tommy, and he's not getting that amulet. Amulet of Spirit Magic, and then of course this one is Might plus 8. Now, he is a cleric, so he could benefit from this personality, especially this amount. Do you think that maybe it's a good idea to trade this amulet out for the one that Zoltan is already wearing? What do you guys think? We'll look at his stats. He's got 68 might and 90 personality, so if we take this off, he will still have 60 might, but he would have 111 personality, which will have a big effect on his cleric spells. So what do you guys think? You want to trade that out? Or should we leave him with what he's got with his mom's old amulet? Because higher stats are always better stats. Alright, we'll swap those out then. Okay, and that'll go in the sell pile. Then we've got this, a ring of armor class plus 16. You talk about a ring of protection. Buddy, that's it. Now, we have a couple of rings in here somewhere. Let's see, like he's got one that's AC plus 6. That would be a straight upgrade for him. She's got one that's plus 8. Let's see. I don't think that Zoltan or Lucy is wearing a ring of armor class, but they might have something else that we could trade out. Like, for example, this ring of personality plus 9. Since we just gave him an amulet of personality plus 21, we could trade that out. But then again, I mean, he's also 124. He's still got the highest AC in the party. I feel like she could use it. Maybe we could give her this one in place of this one, and then this one could go to somebody else. Yeah, let's do that. That's a good ring. I hate to throw that out, so let's see. 110. I guess she could wear both of them. What else has she got? She's got Guinevere. That's not coming off. Her Ring of the Sky. Luck plus 11. Ring of Mana. Poison resistance 7. Well, does she have anything else that regenerates spell points? Because if so... No, it doesn't look like it. I was going to say we could get rid of that ring. We've kind of outgrown... Like, it's a great ring, but at the same time, we've kind of outgrown it. Let's see... Poison resistance plus 7, I hate to get rid of, but it's not that much. Luck plus 11. Her luck is 79. But that just kind of brings her up on par with the rest of the party, so I don't want to trash that. Maybe we should think about giving it to Lucy. Does she have something else that regenerates hit points? Maybe. I don't think she does. Wow, okay. Well. And I hate to take off any of his many rings of wizards because he needs them. On the other hand, his endurance is 62. That does stack, but he's already regenerating hit points. Okay, well, let's do this then. We'll get rid of his ring of AC plus 6. That's plus 2 at least. And then maybe we can just toss this one. I don't know what else we could trade it for unless we, like at this point, and that's good. It's good to have this kind of indecisiveness because that just means at this point our equipment's really good. So it's hard to make those decisions. Okay, might plus 12. Now somebody I think I just saw had a ring of might. I feel like I need to make a chart or something because I know I just right-clicked on all of these multiple times in sequence, and yet, like, here I go again. Okay, so it looks like Lucy's got the only ring of might, and that is the same. That's the same enchantment. So what's this one? This is might plus 14. So we'll just give that to her. Okay, and now here's the big treasure. This crown. It just straight up gives you 5 levels. Whoever wears it is now just level 48 instead of... See? And that gives you all the benefits that come with that because it gives you the hit point and spell point increases that would otherwise wait for those levels. So what do you think? Should we plop that on somebody? She would lose this armor class if we gave it to Debbie. That's 20 AC, which would drop her down to 90. But of course we did just give her this ring. See, that's the problem with crowns. I mentioned this earlier in our adventures, is that they, unless they're enchanted with defense, like this helmet is, then they don't give you any AC. And of course, unless it's some kind of combo enchantment, like of the golem or what have you, then you're not going to get anything for it. So the enchantment that's on there is all that there is. But I mean, that's 20 hit points and 25 spell points. She definitely will look better. These Guardian helms are just not great. They're just not great. So what do you guys think? You want to sacrifice that AC? Because that's a big hit to AC, but she's getting more hit points and spell points back than she's losing in AC. And of course, she is the sorceress anyway. She's always going to have the lowest armor class, probably. That actually doesn't look bad on her. The crowns look variously, like, sometimes they suck on certain characters. That she pulls it off, though. You just want to leave that on her? I'll let you guys decide. And what I'm going to do... Okay, we're leaning towards yes. Then, Alright, well, I'm going to sell these other rings and things. We know we're not keeping those. And I guess I can sell this too. Okay.
Thanks. Come again.
So, well, that's done. So now we only have 2 more things to cover really quickly. First is we still have this Book of Divine Intervention and this Book of Dark Containment. These are the most powerful light and dark spells, respectively. And we were talking last time about who should get them. Are we going to give them both to Debbie, both to Zoltan, or one of each? Now, currently, even though we haven't gotten her expert training, which is something we'll need to do soon, Debbie, it does have the greatest skill in both light and dark magic because Zoltan has 4 ranks in light and is an expert, but he only has 1 rank in dark magic. So she's got more skill points invested in it. She also has Guinevere, which is going to make her more powerful, and the more ranks she puts in this, the more powerful Guinevere gets because those enchantments scale. So, what do you guys think? Do you want to split that power up and each of them get 1? Like we could give Dark Containment to Debbie, and we could give Divine Intervention to Zoltan? Or do you want her to have all the power? Or him, variably, as well. I assume her by default because, of course, we already gave her the ring, so she's kind of been designated the official, like, dark and light magic expert. But these might be the only copies of these books that we find, because these can only spawn in certain places. I'm not sure that they can randomly spawn. There's one or two places where they might, but otherwise you have to find these books in fixed places, and there's only so many copies in the game. So, like, we have to assume for now that we're not going to see another copy of Dark Containment or Divine Intervention. So what would you like to do with them? Do you want to split them up or give them to Debbie? Debbie is officially the queen now. Okay. Alright, well, I'm happy with that decision if y'all are. If nobody's going to protest. I think definitely, like, they're both going to have light and dark magic as we start leveling those skills up. But she is well ahead of Zoltan. So I think at the very least we should give her Dark Containment. Divine Intervention might be more thematic for him to have it, but, you know. So I'm going to go ahead. We're going to drop Dark Containment on her.
Okay.
Alright. And now Divine Intervention. Since there is like a 7-second delay on the stream, I'm going to give you all a chance, just in case somebody else has a different opinion. So, going once, going twice, going 3 times, it's going over her character model, it's going over her face, and it's going into her spell book.
Okay.
Alright, so there we go. It's the only light spell she knows. And she only knows 2 dark spells, and that one we found for free, like in a chest, I think. Or something. Oh my goodness. So here is what they do. Dark Containment attempts to trap the force of darkness into its victims, hence the name Dark Containment. The target of the spell will suffer from random effects, though certain creatures are immune to this spell. So for 200 SP, the hefty spell cost of 200, you just fuck a guy up. You just ruin his day. You make everything bad for him forever, and he doesn't like it. Divine Intervention is kind of the opposite. Once per day, during the rising or setting of the sun. So yes, there is a window in which you can cast this. You may call upon the heavens to heal your characters of all damage, restore your spell points, and remove all adverse conditions. So basically, it's like a level 3 healer limit break. It just cures everything and resets your condition to normal. However, the gods extract a price, aging the caster 10 years for each divine intervention that is cast. And your recovery is shortened with your skill in light magic, and of course you can see there too that normally you can only cast it once per day, experts can cast it twice, masters can cast it 3 times for 70 spell points. So yes, it cures the entire party, but it ages Debbie 10 years. And that's fine, I'm sure she'll age gracefully. Let's hope we never need it, because that's basically your bug out spell. That is, everything has gone completely upside down, and there's no way out. And since she's already long been a master of water magic and has Lloyd's Beacon and Town Portal, I doubt we'll have to worry about that too much, but we'll see what happens. Okay. Well, I personally am pretty interested in what you mentioned, so we're going to recall to Castle Iron Fist. I will never get used to that, even though I reset it with someone in the picture, so like I know by this point. Iris the Bard. Oh my gosh. Okay. Phew. Okay. So you might have had to use it twice, like I'm assuming not because you missed, but maybe because like the first time, if a chest is trapped, then opening it the first time sets off the trap but doesn't usually open the chest, and then when you interact with it the second time, that's when you actually open the chest. So I'm guessing that that's what you mean. Is that you had to cast it 2 times, like once to set off the trap and then the second time to actually open it. Well. Notice that our jewels are still green. Okay, let me look at this map. Okay, this right here is the room that we need to be in, I'm pretty sure. Because that's the one that has a little thin plank that you walk around. Okay, so let's see. Our quickest path to that is going to be, because we need to be on the level with the plank, which means we don't want this door, because that's where you fall down. So, okay, looks like if we go here and go straight and then go around this way, I think. Alright. Because this map is a mess. We all remember Corlegon's estate. It is not a happy place. But yeah, I love that our jewels are green because it hasn't respawned, so of course, you know, this dungeon is just an empty set of hallways to us. We don't care. We've been here. We've seen worse. There's still scorch marks on the walls from when we were here last time. Okay, so right there. Torch. That's what we're talking about. Let me make sure I don't fall off. Just in case I do. There we go. Alright, Zoltan. Let's see. Do I just need to click, like, just anywhere on this? Ah, okay. So that is what it is. Yep. Once for to set off the trap, which looked like an ice trap. Let's see what we find. Oh, cool. Cool, cool, cool. Okay. Cash. Some herbs. And some other stuff. That's neat. I'm pretty sure that's the first I've heard of that. I've always looked across at that and thought, like, you know, what is that supposed to be? There's a candle and everything. I would just assume it's decoration, because you see that wall piece in other dungeons. The Grim Reaper looking guy surrounded by skulls. So I just thought it was decoration because it's an undead themed area. But I've never, I don't think, had telekinesis at the time that I've run through this dungeon before, so I would never, it wouldn't have occurred to me to come back later and try, you know, unless I had a reason to think about it. Because mind magic is honestly usually the least important magic to me, and the one that I get latest in the game, and the max out latest in the game.
Very nice.
Ooh, that's pretty good. Okay, not as good as this, but still good.
Very nice.
Speed plus 18. Nice. Personality 21. Okay, so not as good as what we've got, but still, that is really cool. That's really cool. And if we had done this earlier, that would have been like some phenomenal equipment. Definitely worth the trip. And now that's something new that I know, and it's something new that y'all know, if you didn't already. So that's great. Okay. Well, next thing, let's see. Let's go back to Castle Iron Fists. Ah! Jenna the Counselor this time. Okay. And we have a couple of little things to finish up. Like, before we get started on anything new, I want to go ahead and we still have 1 or 2 quests that are kind of in progress, and I want to get them done. Now, hopefully, this should be the last time that we ever have to come back to Bootleg Bay, I think. Because we've done all of the dungeons that are here. We have uncovered, you know, pretty much all of the map, or all that really matters. So the last thing we have to do here, the only loose end that we need to tie up, is on one of these islands. And it may be up here in the corner where we haven't been. I can't quite remember exactly where it's at, so help me look. We're looking for one of those little marble pedestals. Because Twillin, the Gate Master, wants us to put one of his statuettes here in Bootleg Bay, and then we placed all of the rest. I think that's it. Is that... Nope. Okay. Ah, here it is. Oh, honey. You've got a big storm coming.
Got another one.
There we go. We have placed the one in Sweetwater, in Kriegspire, and in Dragon Sand, so now, there we go. There's that one. That means we should never have to come back to Bootleg Bay. And now we will Lloyd's Beacon to the Mire of the Damned. And now we have to find the pedestal out here, which I believe... Now, we've uncovered the entire bottom half of this map, and it's because there's just not a lot going on down here. It really is just not super necessary unless you're going to clear the entire map. So, let's see. There's some harpies and things. I know vaguely where it's at. It always takes me a minute or two to find it. But I do kind of know where it is. This fog is not helping, of course, because it's about the same color. Everybody cursed. I hate harpies so much, y'all. Go on, pile them on. Pile them on. Honestly, like, dark magic is just the worst, just for that. And yes, you're right. Yeah, I hadn't responded to your comment yet, but yeah, the first time that I went through this game, you know, and I think this is true for everybody playing adventure games of this sort, is it's much like a point-and-click adventure game. You click on everything, you're running along every wall, slamming that space button, left-clicking everywhere, trying to figure everything out, find every secret. And I think that it's really cool that I dedicated a lot of time to that, and still, after all this time, some people would be frustrated that they had not fully mastered the game, I guess, or that they didn't know every single secret, or they'd be mad to find out that they missed something. But for me, it's a treat to know that I put that much time into the game over so many years, and even after all of this time and all of that clicking, I'm still learning new stuff, and that's really cool to me. Okay, it's down here somewhere. Goodness gracious. There it is. I passed it 78 times. There. Oh, here, since we're here.
Very nice. Aha.
Kind of surprised to see gear of this level in here, because that's actually decent gear. Some chests scale a little bit with your level, but yeah, it is a very rich game. It's got an enormous amount of replayability, I think. I really do. I highly recommend it to anybody, and I'm super glad that at least some of you have told me that oh, he successfully cast it, and it didn't matter because he was cursed too long because he sucks at spirit magic. That's all right. But at least a few of you have told me that you know, this playthrough and being part of it has inspired you to play the game yourself, which is super cool to me. Gosh, yeah, I couldn't tell you how many times I've played it. I usually play it on average, I'm gonna say at least once a year, probably. I go back through it and play it again. It might be something more like on average, if you actually hack the statistics out, it might be something a little more like once every 18 months. But that's a lot. So 40 times. I'm not sure if I've played it 40 times, but I've played it a bunch, and it's worth playing 40 times. So I definitely would recommend to anybody that you play it at least one time, for sure. Okay. Look at that. All of those Lloyd's beacons and town portals, and look how many spell points she still has. That's sorcery, baby! She's got almost 500 spell points now. He's got almost 400. She's got almost 200. 3.5. Okay. Let's head over here and talk to Twillin. Complete this quest.
Hello.
Well, look at that. It worked. Good work. I have my youth again, thanks to you. Have you ever thought about assisting me full-time? I could certainly use reliable help. I've managed to collect a variety of trinkets over the years, so please help yourself to a few of these in the chest outside as payment for your services. I need to clean up a few things here, but I think I'll head back to Castle Ironfist and see if there's an opening for a court magician. And sure enough, if you go back into his house,
Hello.
he has moved out. Ta-da! Bunch of cash.
Very nice.
Doomsday Cloak of Electricity Resistance. This game wants us to have electricity resistance so bad.
Very nice.
That is a very good spear. Just a flat 12 points of acid damage.
Very nice.
And telekinesis. Okay. That's actually... I'm not going to call that a letdown, but I will say that usually
Okay.
there are like some artifacts and relics, at least one in that chest. So, oops, no, let's not do that. So that might just be because of the patch and the way that it adjusts certain things. Which is fine, because honestly, you open that chest up, and it is a lot of work to get there. I would like to have at least one artifact level item. But if you find like 2 or 3 artifacts or relics in that chest, it can kind of throw the game off balance. Those should be very rare and should only show up in in-game dungeons, so I'm not mad about that. Okay, so we have finished with Twillin's statuettes. And we have assigned all of our treasure and things like that. So, I think that we're ready to move along to a couple more of our quests. And you know what, guys? You know what? We've put this off long enough. It's the only quest in our book that does not have to do with one of these 4 dungeons, right? I think it's time to put on our big boy pants and go fight the warlord for Ozric Temper. That is the last class promotion quest that we haven't done. And you're right, I forgot to reopen the chest. I should, because you never know. Okay, nothing in it. Shame. But yep, it's I think it's time to go fight the warlord. I do. That's our last promotion quest. We need to be a champion. We need to get those experience points. I think that there's like maybe 1 or 2, like there's a skill that somebody will only teach you if you're a champion or something like that. So we should be thinking about these things. I think it's time to do that. Now first, okay, we have a saintly reputation. I want to go ahead and actually, let's see. We need to become... We need to go to Silver Cove anyway. I should have done that first. Let's see. Light Magic Expert. She needs to become a Light Magic Expert. She needs to do it anyway, but there's a big reason why. Let's see. Where does she live? I think... Here we go. I believe it's this house. Everything looks different from the air.
Hello.
Yes, here we go. We've got plenty of money. Look at that, guys. All of that cash from selling all of those things, from all of those high-level chests we raided last time, and plus the big haul from the obelisk treasure. We've got almost 500,000 gold pieces. That's wild.
Yes.
We can definitely afford for her to become an expert. That was the one skill improvement we'd been putting off because it just wasn't important at the time, and we also ran out of money and didn't have 2,000 gold to rub together. Now, I don't think it's a problem. And now we're going to go back and see this guy. Kilo Ni, somewhere around Castle Alamos. Why are we going to do that? Well, Because light magic is much like spirit magic, where as long as you are an expert, you can immediately become a master with no minimum number of ranks, as long as you meet certain requirements. The requirements are you have to have a saintly reputation.
What can I get you?
See if there's anything good in here. Just in case. You never know. Alamos is a high level. Oh, it hasn't respawned from last time. Okay, well. Thanks anyway, I guess.
Hello.
Windmaster.
Hello.
Navigator.
How are you?
See. And here's Castle Alamos itself, which is a lovely building, honestly. We won't go in there just yet, though. Okay, let's see. Okay, he's in... I think it's one of these houses. Well, I mean, obviously it has to be. I think it's that house specifically. Mind the sea monsters. They're so happy to see us. They're flopping around. Okay. That is an inn. I feel like there's...
How are you?
There we go. Yes, he lives in the back of the inn. So here we go. Okay, Master of Light. See, here we go. A Master of Light Magic is among the most powerful spellcasters in the world. I can improve nearly any expert to Master status, but I do not do this lightly. No pun intended. I will only teach persons of the highest reputation. Living saints. That's us, guys. We have done so much good work.
Okay.
Bam. And bam again. So there we go. We are now Masters of Light Magic at rank 4. Right? Just like with Spirit Magic. Okay. So, now that that's been done, we are going to town portal back to Silver Cove because that is where the Warlord's Castle is. So, we'll go ahead as we head that way. We're going to start putting our protection spells on. Oh, yeah. I want to grab this, too. Because if I remember correctly, there's a lot of these magic fountains we haven't drunk from, and it's because some of them do all kinds of random stuff that we just weren't prepared to deal with at the time. Like, they'll give you a bonus permanently, but also turn you to stone. Or they'll give you a bonus, but kill you. These, I believe, actually give you a permanent bonus with no drawbacks. But I think it might be one of those where, like, okay, yeah, like if your stat is over a certain level, then it doesn't give it to you, it doesn't proc. That's fine, that's fine. Okay, lighthouse. Let's see, his fortress is up there, I think. Since we're down at this end anyway, we're going to go ahead and want to uncover this terrain. There's the monolith. Let's see. Actually, this time... Oh, there it is. There's the Warlord's Fortress. Ta-da! Let's see, is there anything else we need? Not at the moment, I don't think. So here we go. Muted sounds of clashing metal and loud voices emanate from this imposing fortress. No one would dare assault the Warlord's home.
I've got a bad feeling about this place.
You should. Okay, now let's see. There we go. Now notice the floor says door. That's because this is a teleporter. We have to do that anyway because this whole place is like a maze. And over here, there's a couple of ways in. There's like a secret door over here, but if you go all the way to the bottom, it's locked. And so even if you jump over that step, which usually gets you just coming down, you only know that it's there if you accidentally touch it with your mouse, or if you have Master Level Wizard Eye on so that it lights up in the auto map. It pulls you over into this maze. This door over here will also take you into it, so either way you have to come over here. It's just a decision about, like, you know, which place you're going to start. So, see? The whole place is literally a maze of, like, teleporting doorways. So, let's just get started. Here's an actual door. Oh my gosh, this guy dares. He dares, y'all. See, there we go. Thought there was another door right there. I mean, obviously there is. It just may not activate until later. This is the one that's locked, see? So we have to come into the maze no matter what. Most of these are just teleporting doors. It's not a huge dungeon. It's just... it's a maze. I can't believe that they're throwing these guys at us. I'm used to this place being, like, full of death knights, so... we know what that is. Empty barrel. Barrel of blue liquid. I think Lucy could use that. A lot of this is going to be trash. There we go. Okay, let's see. Another barrel of blue liquid. Red liquid. Whose turn is it for red liquid? Definitely Tommy's. Okay. Empty barrel. Green liquid is endurance. White liquid. So let's see. Endurance. Oh, wow. He needs that. And luck. We'll give that to Lucy. To dear Lucy. Alright. And here we go. Now it begins. Thankfully, we hit a lot harder than we used to, guys. You're not gonna break our stuff. Not this time. And if you do, Lucy will fix it. So, and yeah, we were just talking about that earlier. That is why, like, to this day, you'll see me, even though I know where most stuff is, sometimes I'll just go compulsively clicking wildly along the walls. It's because I'm after all this time, I'm still in search of secrets. This game is so big because it's full of secrets. Just pound through these guys. Alright, well, look at this. What a great room. Unable to pick the lock. Check that out. Okay.
Very nice.
Ooh. Nice, nice. Unable to pick the lock again.
Very nice.
Okay, so there are two here on which we are unable to pick the lock. That means we'll need a key. Don't you reckon? Oh boy, here we go. So these are the guys I didn't want to fight. These are the reason that we put this off for so long. Here you are. The Doom Knight. Yes, indeedy. And, yeah. You can see from their armor that they mean business. So. Oh. It's not just because they hit really hard. They do. But also, I mean, look how many hit points they've got, right? And here is the... he's hung up on his animation. That's a casting animation. When they do that like 4 or 5 times, it's trying to proc a spell. So here's the Death Knight. Little guys. Little small ones. They upgrade to Doom Knights. And then this is... yeah. So, this is very special to me. I did not know when I was a small child exactly, like, what this meant, or that it was, like, a trademarked brand name, right? But you will see that the third party, or the third palette swap back here is called a Cuisinart. And that still tickles me after all these years. With all apologies and like all due respect to Carl Sontheimer, original character do not steal, no copyright infringement intended, not used with permission. So yeah, for anyone, especially if you are not from the US, you may not know why this is funny. It is because Cuisinart is a brand of kitchen appliances. It is a made-up word. It's a portmanteau of cuisine and art. And the Cuisinart brand was the company that introduced the first home food processor back in, like, I think it was 1973. The Carl Sontheimer was like an MIT grad. And he grew up in... I think France, like he was born here but grew up in France, if I remember correctly. And he was so impressed by like the way that they prepared food. I love that, the way they fall apart into pieces because it's just hollow armor, it's ghost armor, see. But he was so impressed by the way that they prepared food and by things like industrial food processor appliances that had been invented for commercial use, that he came home and he invented his own. For, oh, yep, their melee attacks can make you afraid. Let me remove fear while I'm giving my little lecture here. There we go. So, and look at the level we are. Look how they're kicking our butts. There we go. But anywho, yeah, so, he invented, like, a small home food processor, that people could use in their own homes, as opposed to, you know, like a giant commercial one. And that's what he built his brand on. And, of course, he's passed now, so, like, another company owns the Cuisinart brand, but they're still active. They still make appliances, and so that's why I assume that they took the Cuisinart name for this enemy, is because a food processor, of course, is a machine that is filled with slicing, chopping blades to cut your food up, into teeny tiny pieces. It slices, it dices, also makes julienne fries. That's a Cuisinart. And this guy definitely also slices and dices, and you wouldn't want to accidentally stick your hand in him. So there you go. That's the backstory, I presume. Like I said, I don't have the behind the scenes information. I couldn't tell you why they chose that, if they just thought it was funny and decided to run with it. But yeah. So that is what Cuisinart means. Man, see, look, they're doing a number on us. See, this is look, just one or two of them are the strongest enemies we fought, other than those dragons that we ran away from. There, we're gonna have to clear some of the chaff. I put shield on because I couldn't remember if there were archers in here as well, and I was thinking there were ranged attacks, but thankfully, or maybe not, it's all melee, so... Alright, now it's just you and us. Now, this guy, and yeah, and see, they do have spell ranged attacks, but there's not much we can do about that, unfortunately. Another power cure. Okay, now this is where we're going to drag some magic out. Now, we still are missing a couple of fire spells, or I would pull those out here. So instead, we're going to rely on good old Ice Bolt. Thanks, Ice Bolt. I don't think that Flying Fist will work on him. Oh, it does. Okay. I couldn't remember if it did or not because they're undead. So. There we go. That's more like it. See, look how hard we've beaten on him, and he's only down a third of his hit points. So, like, this guy by himself is basically the hardest boss that we fought. Now you can understand why, even if every enemy in the game, or in the dungeon, is not one of these, why I waited so long to come here, because we are level 43, y'all, and this guy is kicking us really hard in the butts. So, now obviously we're not going to lose this fight, but I mean, look how hard he's hitting. It's ridiculous, so... And girl, you rolling low on those ice bolts. Almost got him. Now, he is not labeled, but he is the only Cuisinart in the dungeon. And then, of course, there's this couple of Doom Knights. And then there are the Death Knights. So I think that this guy right here is the Warlord. There we go. I'm pretty sure. I may be mistaken about that because he doesn't have a unique name, but I'm pretty sure that he's the Warlord. Okay. We're going to heal again. After all that. See, look at that. We actually went through some spell points, man. Grab this guy too. Now, before we wander too far away... we'll come back over here and we will get this door. There we go. As usual, even if we don't kill them, we can just get them to retreat. At least they're not beating on us, right? Oh, man. Alright, Debbie, you're back on Ring of Fire duty. Yeah, we'll get to that. That is one of the side quests that we are going to tackle. So don't say too much. I'll just say it's not a new concept that there's a secret bonus boss, like, in a game. That's not something that's an unfamiliar concept. But, We'll get there, and that'll be a nice surprise for anybody who's not aware of it. Okay. Unable to pick the lock. Unable to pick the lock. Unable to pick the lock. Unable to pick the... oh, nope, she got that one. Okay. Ring of Health. It's not that great, Zoltan. Don't really act impressed. This door is double locked. It's double, super, triple, awesome locked. Okay, let's go tackle this ground floor room first. Oh, there's another one. Okay, so I was thinking there's only one Cuisinart, and then the rest of them were Death and Doom Knights. So, but this one might be the Warlord then, because it's like his private room or what have you. Whoa, almost 100 points of damage. But look at that, though. So we've already done over 100 points of damage in 2 hits. That's how much health he's got. So they have, what would that be, about 800 health, give or take, maybe? Zoltan, buddy. It's not that scary. Man. See? Tells you we need to train up more, and we're going to have to put some in their, like, their weapon skills and things to raise their base attack rate. We have been neglecting those for some characters in favor of magic skills, and we need to bring that up and make a difference, because you can see how it's affecting us now that even with Bless on, and even with a really good spirit magic skill, we're swinging a lot of misses here. And I don't like having like an average 50% hit rate. Goodness. Well, I'll tell you what. Cuisinarts are made to last. Oh. Oh, children. Okay, well, we won't miss these guys, will we? Haha. We picked up his plate armor. We're just going to wear him personally. Ooh, nice. Elec resistance plus 20. My gosh. Lol. Yeah, see, here's the big bed and stuff, so...
Got it.
Ah, very nice.
Ooh. Ah. There we go. Just had to rearrange a little bit. Okay. Plate armor takes up a lot of room. Chest of drawers. We have found 2 keys. There they are. One is the Warlord's key, and one is the storage key.
Got it.
Nice. And there's the Warlord's discharge papers. That's what we need for Osric Temper. Unable to pick the lock. But I have the storage key, though. Ugh. I think you have to have 2 storage keys. Because, see, like, double locked. Oh, I'll read these. Here. Kirkman, you lack the skill in arms, the dedication, and most importantly, the ability to command to succeed as a knight. Your constant failures leave me no choice but to discharge you from the Knights of Enroth. I would suggest you find a new profession, as you will never master the arts of warfare. Rude. Let's see. There is yet more. Nice. It's really nice to be able to just chew through these guys now, you know? Because we were so scared of them at one point that it almost kept us from doing a dungeon. Woo! Look at that. Okay.
Very nice.
Oh, guys. Guys. We have a second chance. Okay. Here's what we're going to do.
There's no room. There's no room.
Let's see. There we go. We'll do it that way. I want to make sure that we don't lose that and we take it with us. So what we're going to do is I'm going to set a beacon here over top of Garrick's Forge because we're not using that anymore. And we will town portal back to Silver Cove so that we can sell some of this stuff.
Finest weapons in the land.
So that, and that, and that, and that. Now this,
Come again.
2 to 12 points of fire damage. Now we know this is Mordred, we're going to keep that. This one is 2 to 15 points of electrical damage. What do you think? Should we go with the fire damage, which is higher, or the electrical damage, which maybe is... Well, I wouldn't say it's less resisted. Yeah, I guess that's an upgrade. There we go. Okay. I think she just enchanted that one herself, is all.
Come again.
Closed.
Oh. Okay, well. It's late in the day. I should have guessed.
Starfish, pirate stew. Don't mind the rats.
Okay. Let's see, that's the armor shop.
How you doing? How you doing? Come back soon.
Okay. Also, that the warlord's name is Kirkmond. I don't know, that just... It's odd. Okay, let's see. Alright.
How you doing? How you doing?
Let's see. Electricity resistance plus 20.
Come back soon. How you doing? How
We're
you
just...
doing?
I love the notion that we just have, like,
Come
a
back.
wagon full of of plate mail armor and just...
How you doing? How you doing?
There we go.
Come back soon.
Okay. We just keep going out the door and just shoveling more plate armor into this guy's shop. Personality plus 7. Hey! Alright. That's not great, but it is an upgrade because he can use personality since he is a cleric. It is important for him. And it's definitely more effective mechanically than increased value. So, which means now
How you doing? How
we
you
can
doing?
sell this for 11,560 gold. Man,
Come back soon.
talk about turning a profit. And just think about all the treasure we still have to go back and get.
Finest weapons in the land. Come again.
There we go. And now...
Hurry up! I don't have all day.
Yes, you do. Don't act like you've got something better to do.
Thanks. Come again.
Okay. Now, spells back on. We'll get back in there and clear the rest of this out. I don't guess we need fly at the moment. Oh, but we do need power. And why not speed as well? There we go. Okay. We don't need shields, so I think we're good to just go back. Let's recall. There we go.
Aha! Aha!
And let's see, that's all that was in that room. There we go. We just walked past that door. I knew there was an entryway for it. Ooh, a Doom Knight. Let's get him. You know, I'm going to cast Protection from Magic just because I'm not sure if that will help against these particular spells, but it can't hurt us to have it on, for sure. There we go. Another one. But he's the only thing in here, so we can go toe-to-toe with him and just tangle. Come on. There we go. See, when there's only one of them by themselves, it's not that big of a deal. Unable to pick the lock. Ah, we can pick that one, though.
Aha! Ah, very nice. Oh.
Might plus 15. Let's see. Speed. Personality 7. Okay. Not really an upgrade for anyone then. Unable to pick the lock. Man, he's just got masterwork, like DC 45 locks on everything in his house. Hey, boys. Lol. These dudes are pushovers, it's just their big brothers that I'm worried about. Unable to pick the lock. Ah. Okay, that's got stairs. We'll go here first, I think.
Oh.
Go. There we go, got him. And they start stacking up like that, and their feet all look the same. Of course, that's why it's helpful that you know, they made palette swaps of the different enemies as well. It's nice to be able to tell their feet apart when you're trying to click on one pixel.
Aha! Oh.
Huh. There's another one. I'm not sure if we've seen one of these yet, but it gives you resistance to a condition. I think that we saw one that's resistant to poison, maybe? Oh, did I? I haven't really been concentrating on looking for secret rooms. I suppose that I should. 1, 2... Oh, over here. Yes. It's got a cabinet in it with delicious cash. Thank you for catching that. I wouldn't have wanted to leave it behind for sure. Of course, we'll be back to most of these rooms as well because we have to get that key and then come back and open all of these chests. Listen, losers. Who told you could come out of your cages? Hey, that's right. That's what I want. We're all in this together. This is our shared game. Oh, Tommy looks just horrified. We need to get him the remove fear spell, and this proves that even in the end game, every spell can be useful, and that every spell at some point is necessary, because of course we've seen how telekinesis can be used. Now we're seeing remove fear, which is literally the first level spell of mind magic, and we've not used it up to this point, but we're using it like crazy now. We're spamming it, and in fact, it could be very dangerous if we didn't have it, because of what the fear effect can do to us. So, alright, we'll do this one first. Doom Knights. Yep, because fear, of course, might make you a little bit better at fighting, theoretically, but it makes you terrible at magic. And so when our spellcasters are being made of, having that inflicted on them left, right, and sideways, it becomes a big deal very quickly. I think I just recast Bless by accident. Well. Oh, yeah, it's because I went in there to cast Shared Life a minute ago. I had the wrong page open. Oopsie. Whoopsie doodles. See, these guys, even the middle ones and the lower tier ones, they give a good accounting of themselves. We gotta take these guys down pretty quickly. There we go. Floor cache. Yes, love it. Good. Oh, went too far. Okay. One of the few remaining rooms. Who else we got in there with you? Don't act like it's just you. Gonna give a power cure before we... here's something we haven't done yet. We've got plenty of spell points, and we're blazing through this dungeon. Let's try a few of our new spells. Like, for example... Blades. Shazam. Go. Or the magic of mass distortion. Of course, that didn't do much because he didn't have a lot of health. Oh boy, another one of you yahoos. Great. We'll get rid of these little guys first so they don't 1 and 2 us to death. And then it'll just be us and the food processor. Ooh. My goodness, they have so much health. It actually, like, even if you're on their level, it just becomes tedious to kill them at a certain point. That's not necessarily poor monster design, because, I mean, of course, they're high-level enemies. And if we were a couple levels higher and had certain skills a few ranks higher, then they would probably go down faster. And that's something that we'll address, like, shortly. But... Shoo! Goodness gracious. Look what they did to Tommy. Okay. Let's see. Chest of drawers. There we go. That's the other key. 2 storage keys. Cabinet. Oh, man. We found his stash, you guys.
Aha!
Go.
Aha!
Oh. She's out of room. Unable to pick the lock. Do.
Ho! Very nice.
Ooh. Witch Ring of the Unicorn.
Very nice.
Love that. Now we'll see if anybody is wearing a Ring of Mana. And if they are, we can trade that out. He's not. Somebody is. I know we just took one off of Debbie a little while ago. Oh, no? Okay, we left it on. Okay, well, we'll give her that then. There we are. It's the same thing, but better, because 15 luck. And also, there's a secret door here as well. I'll get this one while we're here.
Got it.
Alright.
Nice.
Elec resistance
Very
again,
nice.
seriously. Oh, nice. The Phoenix.
Ah.
Lol.
Aha! Ah.
And divine power. 20 to level temporarily, but ages you 1 year. Shoo. Okay, well, we've only got one unlocked area left to visit, so let's go and do that. And here we go. See, there's a switch on the wall, so it opens from this side. Ta-da! There we go. Oh, do we have another one? Unlocked, I did say. See, because I know we've got to go back and get this area down here. Door won't open. Oh, look at me, that's the wrong door. Damn it. It's not the door that I'm thinking of at all. I feel like... See, there's something behind here. Is it in this room, maybe? Ah, there we go. Ta-da! It actually has a shelf on it, which almost looks crooked because of the texture, but I promise it's level. What's this?
I don't know.
It's just a spear. You've seen them before. There we go. Bam, bam, bam.
Ho!
Ah, there's another one. We're resistant to diseases.
Ah.
Nice. Those are great in the early game. In the later game,
Nice.
they're okay. Oh, there's a spell we don't know. Guardian Angel.
Okay.
I haven't bothered with that one yet because of how we're going through the game, but this spell is basically like re-raise in Final Fantasy terms. You cast it on yourself, and then what happens is it resurrects your character if you die. So, see, the price is half the gold your characters have with them at the time of death. And you're restored to life with either 1 hit point, half your hit points, or all of your hit points. So, like, if you die in an emergency, then it makes death less painful, so you don't have to reload it. Instead, you're teleported, back to the last temple that you went to. And it doesn't take all your money, just half of it.
Ah. Very nice.
Yeah, it's okay.
Ah.
Cash. It's good. A haste potion. More cash. Nice.
Aha.
Oh.
Very nice.
Elec resistance plus 12. I'm starting to get tired of that enchantment, you guys. Like, for realsies.
Very nice. Ah. Aha. Ho!
Ooh, that's not bad. And last but not least... Oh, you were unable to pick the lock. Well, you know what that means. Got one more set of doors that we have to go through here. The double locked set. There we go. And that used up both of those keys. Let's see. These bags are going to be full of mostly trash. If there's anything in there at all. There we go. Oh, that could be good. Lucky day. Does she have that? No. Tommy might not. There we go. Okay, good. Free spell's a free spell. I like that. Especially if it's one we might actually cast.
Ho!
Fine Ring of Precision. Wow, that's the best enchantment I've ever seen on one of those little ones this whole game. Okay, let's see. Yellow liquid. I don't like that. I just don't like the idea of that. Here, drink this mysterious yellow liquid. No, maybe I won't. Okay, Tommy definitely needs that. Okay, empty barrel blue, orange. And let's see here. We've got orange, yellow, blue. Okay, so orange, yellow, blue, red, blue, green, blue. Okay, so red, blue, green, blue, yeah. Blue, green. Oh, green again. Okay. All right. Now, so that pretty much takes care of the Warlord's Fortress. So now we have to go back and talk to Osric Temper, of course. Now, the only thing that's left in here is, of course, there's all of these chests that say, you know, we couldn't pick the lock, right? So yeah, that kind of sucks. There's just, you know, like, nothing you can do about that with the disarm trap skill, right? There's not a proper lock-picking mechanic, of course. But I think that it's like a bug, if I'm not mistaken. Because once you loot everything else, it's like, you know, you should be able to get into those chests. So, and in the past, I don't think that those have all been locked for me. So, I'm not really 100% sure what to do about it. We'll go back and we will check on some of these and see if maybe they'll open now. Oh, you're unable to pick the lock. Unable to pick the lock. Yeah, I don't think, unless the patch that I'm using, the Greyface patch, like, changes something about the disarm trap skill where maybe there are certain chests in the game that you can only open if your disarm trap is high enough. I don't think that that's the case. I'm pretty sure that it's not the case, in fact. So, if anybody knows anything, then give me a shout, of course. It's not something with which I'm familiar. Yeah, it's like I can't remember really seeing or encountering that before. Or if I did, it was like, you know, a chest, but certainly not all of them. So, if you know anything about it, if you dig something up, you know, let me know, give me a shout out, tweet at me, or if you're watching this on YouTube, feel free to leave a comment below the video, and, you know, let me know what's up. I will absolutely go back there and get all of them, for sure. But for now, we're going to take this letter to Lord Temper so that we can go on.
Duke Osric Temper.
Right.
Lord of the West and foremost knight of the realm.
Yes. Good job. Excellent. I wasn't sure you'd make it back alive. Kirkman had more potential than I realized, but you're certainly more than a match for an army of Kirkmans. You've proven yourself worthy of the rank of champion. You must not be afraid to take up arms to defend what is right. Topical. May your enemies fear your approach and your allies rally behind your courage. And now I promote you to the rank of champion. I don't remember if that's the voice I was doing for him, but there we go. So that means we should be eligible. Yeah, we can train all the way up to level 50 now. But first, we should probably sell this crap. Let's go do that, because we can't do any more dungeons or anything else until we do. That's gotta be did first. It's gotta be did, you guys. God, I love this track. Okay.
Don't touch the merchandise.
Armor.
Come back soon.
Finest weapons in the land.
There we go.
Come again.
Still got plenty of time. We'll step over here and see Brenda.
Looking for something special? Thanks, come again.
Alright. Okay, now we'll give her all this stuff from the others. I'm going to sell this potion too because that's a powerful potion, but I don't think that it's one we're going to need. Also, all of these heroism spells. I think it's time to sell those. Let's see, Supreme Protection. Restoration we'll keep. Stone Skin we don't need. There we go. We just really need to clean out some of her inventory. Okay. Actually, I'll tell you what, I'll put that there, and she can carry the Crystal Skull so that it's not stacked up in his inventory. And she can carry this axe, because we can't accidentally sell it since it's a quest item. I want to enchant that sword, I think. Just because we can, and there's no reason not to.
Looking for something special? Thanks.
You're welcome.
Looking for something special?
There we go.
Thanks. Come again.
And now, let's see. Oh, I meant to give her that. That way we can just make one more stop at the armor shop. Or weapon shop, rather.
Finest weapons in the land.
Dragon Slayer. Man, she loves that enchantment.
Come again.
I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed. Okay. 2 more stops at the armor shop, then.
Don't touch the merchandise.
Oh, shut up, Bill.
Come back soon.
Guys, we have almost 600,000 gold. We probably better start thinking about spending it on something.
Come back soon.
And the first thing that I want to spend some of it on is we're going to go over here to the Mind Guild again and see if they've got Cure Insanity.
The magic of knowledge.
Oh my god. Oh, there it is. Shh. Lord, it's about time. And I think he's the only one that maybe doesn't have... I don't know why I clicked in there.
Okay.
That doesn't have telekinesis at this point, because we just found it for her for free.
Mind, the magic
So
of
yeah, this is what we need to start doing, is we need to pad out our spell books. Let's see. Psychic Shock goes here, so he doesn't have it. I know if he doesn't, then she doesn't. That's kind of how I'm keeping track of things, is everybody's sort of got a designated magic skill. And so if someone doesn't have it, and they are the designated, like, say, mind magic caster, then nobody else who has that skill is going to have it either. So if Zoltan doesn't have Psychic Shock, then I know that Lucy won't. And if Lucy doesn't, then I know that Tommy won't, because he gets everything third in terms of mind magic.
Okay.
Let's see. She's got Mass Fear, he's got Mass Fear, so that means that Tommy
mind, the magic of knowledge.
does need it. Okay, Precision, Mind Blast, and Meditation.
Okay.
Okay, and he does not have Meditation.
Mind, the magic
So we'll
of
buy that
knowledge.
for him. There we go. Okay, well we got a very important spell there just now. And we won't do a lot of this. Like I'm not going to go around and go spell shopping right now because it's not super exciting to watch. Especially not at this point in the game when we've done more exciting things. So I'll go shopping and spend some of this money in between because we know what we're going to do. It's not a surprise. I'm going to look at all of their skills, all of their spell books, and I'm going to find any page that's not filled up completely like this, and I'm going to try and find some place to buy any of those spells that they don't have. So there are a couple of things that I'm going to look specifically for.
Fire, magic of destruction.
Oh, baby. There we go. Those are the 2 that I wanted.
Alright.
Those are the 2 she did not have, so see, like that. She's our main fire caster. Now she has every fire spell. So that means that now from now on, if I'm looking at fire magic, I only have to check on Tommy. And we got the 2 most important fire spells after Fireball and Ring of Fire. Inferno is great, but Incinerate is one of the most powerful direct-to-target spells in the game. So for the cost of 30 SP,
Yes.
you can just fry a monster completely. And Meteor Shower, well, I think that we had a Scroll of Starburst way back at lower levels when we were still scouting. Yeah, we were still scouting Castle Iron Fist. But Meteor Shower is a really great spell, you guys. It's just a really great spell. All of these enemies that we fight in clusters outside, in places like New Sorpagal, that spell is for clearing them out. And it's great. Okay, now let's see. Does he have... He does not. Okay. So we are going to stop in here and see if they've got another copy of Lloyd's Beacon, which they don't. So, no harm done. Okay. Well, so that's a thing. Now, I think that something else we need to consider doing, we've talked about it a little bit. I did bring it up. I think, given the level we're at in the game, and the expenses that we're starting to incur for continuing to level up, it might be a good idea to try and get the other 3 characters to rank 7 and make them merchant masters. Because that's going to drastically reduce their training costs so that we're not straining our resources just by getting more powerful. Because, of course, our equipment comes for free. But, guys, leveling up costs a lot of money. We've seen this. And at this point, we're level 43. We are eligible to train to level 50. That's 7 levels. So even if, like, I don't remember for sure the last, like, what it was costing last time. It's somewhere around 4,000. So let's say that even if it doesn't go up, right? Even if it doesn't increase every level, which we know that it does, but let's say it's a flat rate of 4,000. That's 28,000 per character. That's over 100,000 gold just to catch them up to the level that they need to be before we do anything else, right? We've got over 500,000. That is still an enormous amount of money because we're not going to have over 500,000 after that, and we're not going to have multiple hundreds of thousands of gold for very long if we keep doing that. And now, again, we're coming up on the end game, right? We're past the halfway point, but we still do have levels to go. We're probably going to be level 60-something by the time that we finish this. And we need to start thinking about that and thinking about accommodating our resources because we don't want to have to go back and farm for money. We want to be able to just push forward and use whatever we find. So I think that probably we should consider that. Up to this point, everyone has had a role, other than the magic spells, of course. Everyone has every magic skill that they could get. And, you know, we did that on purpose. We got them all of those skills. And we have kind of like Zoltan has been the designated spirit magic guy. Tommy was the designated body magic guy for a long time. He's the earth dude. He's the air caster. Debbie is our fire and water expert and so forth. And so she has been our merchant. She has been our diplomat. She's been the face of the party. She can continue to do that. But I think that it's going to be a convenience thing as well as a sensibility thing to make everybody else a merchant master and just give them all that skill. I think that Joan would be proud of us. We've learned to manage our funds, you know. And another way that that's convenient is not just does it mean that we're going to get a huge discount on training and stuff, it also means that I no longer have to click back and forth because I am selling and purchasing everything with Debbie because she's the only one who has the merchant skill. So that means, you know, right now, if I accidentally leave it clicked on Lucy and I buy a big expensive spell book, that money's just gone unless I load it in order to recover. I have to do those things with Debbie because she has the merchant skill. If everyone's got merchant at the same level, I no longer have to pile all of the treasure into Debbie and put it in her backpack and make multiple trips in and out of different shops. If we are staying at an inn, if we are buying services, you know, from a trainer or anything, I can just leave it on whoever and it will be the same price because they will all have the same level of merchant skill. And so that's just a convenience thing, and I think that we should do that. Unless anybody has, like, you know, some kind of role-playing objection or something along those lines, I think that that's a sensible investment. Feel free to object, but speak now or forever hold your peace, because otherwise 6 p.m. when the Buccaneers' Lair opens, and I remember that this is where the merchant skill is. We won't go hunting for it so much this time, so...
Not here.
Oh, I forgot that there's goblins. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay, well, here. Let's take care of that. What do you say? Can't believe that only got 3 of them. There we go. Now I can rest. We can rest easy. New Sorpagal is safe from the goblins again. So, alright. I'm resting. Alright. Nobody's protested, so... I'm gonna go ahead, we're gonna pick up this skill.
Wouldn't be without it. Wouldn't be without it. Wouldn't be without it.
Yes, thank you, Hermit the Guildmaster. I wouldn't be without it either. Okay. Now, that being done, we also have some horseshoes. We'll take care of that when we train as well. We can distribute those, maybe use those points on merchant, perhaps. But first, let's see. We've got some more side quests yet to do. There are 4 more places, 4 more things that I want to accomplish before we go after the first memory crystal. So, let's see. Well, let's take a rest first of all.
Hello, come on in. Enjoy your stay.
And, you know, this has taken a bit longer than I expected it to, so I'm thinking that this may be time to think about wrapping up. So perhaps now that we've got the merchant skill, we should level up a couple of times, put points into the merchant skill, become merchant masters with everybody, and then level the rest of the way up, and then we'll be level 50. That'll be a big step. So let's do that.
How about some training?
Okay, so see here, 3483 versus 2244. So she's getting like a third off, right?
Okay.
9 skill points.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, now of course you know me, normally we wouldn't do that. We wouldn't, you know, go in and out, but... Okay. That will get everybody to rank 4 with just that one level that they had. Okay. So now we'll go right over here. Our merchant expert lives very conveniently next to that.
How are you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
There we are. Now the remaining training will be cheaper. And so we're going to need 5 plus 6 is 11 plus 7 is 18. So that's 2 more levels, right, per person.
How about some... Okay.
2.
Okay. 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 Okay.
There we go. There we go. 7. Oh, crud. Well, that was a big waste of everybody's time. Okay, here. See, this is why we save spam.
It's closed.
Oops. Oh,
It's closed.
because I didn't rest that time.
How about some training, okay? Okay, okay, okay.
Okay. It's because identify item comes before that. And so I just clicked it's at the top of everybody else's list, of course. There we go.
Okay.
Okay.
They have
Okay.
learned well from Debbie.
How about some training?
Alright, now.
Okay, 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 okay.
See, look how much money we're already spending, right? Okay. 3. 2, 3. Carefully. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Now, to Silver Cove. And the Master Merchant will be right over here. We'll get that training as well.
How you doing? Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
There we go. Okay, and now we can just level up the rest of the way, I think.
How about some training?
See, look how much cheaper that is.
Okay, okay, okay. Okay, okay, okay. No way.
Alright, there we go. And now instead of 100,000, see, we spent less than 70,000. And that's including what was it, 6,000 plus 12,000, 18,000 just for training, because it is an expensive skill. So there we go. It has already paid for itself. And look at that, 40 skill points. She's got 66, 40, 38. Okay. So, that definitely gives us something to work with. I guess we should start doing things like capping out skills. We're close to Mind Magic Master. I think we should go ahead and do that. And then we need to do Chain, Mace, and Shield for him. So, unless somebody has another idea, right? Because eventually we need to get Meditation Master for him as well, Bodybuilding Master for everybody. But right now, because this is a big chunk, these are more important, I think. Because this is going to take pretty much all of his skill points, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, see, in fact, that's what these are for. So he can go ahead and do this. Those are so valuable. There we go, Mind Magic Master, and we'll go back to Silver Cove and get that for him. Okay, skill points for her. All of this is level 10. We'll bring that up to 4. And let's see. She does need Bodybuilding and Meditation Master. Eventually she's going to need to get up to 12 ranks in both of these as well. That's a lot, but she's our least spellcastingest character, so maybe we should focus on these first. Yeah, what do you guys think? You want to bring up her bodybuilding and her meditation to master level to rank 7, and then we can start focusing on her magic? And then once we get to rank 12 in both of these, that's it for Lucy. That's it. Because, I mean, we can bring up learning to master level as well. Maybe that's something that we should consider next level, because with that, if we're going to do this, even though it's endgame, like it's starting to peter out its usefulness, we still do have a lot to do, but I want to make sure everyone can do it at one time. So that means that we're going to need at least 2 levels on Zoltan for him to have sufficient skill points to bring this up to rank 7. So we have to wait until we get to level 52, and then we could get everybody to learning master if we feel like it. But that's not an option right now because I don't want those uneven experience points. So we good with bodybuilding and meditation, and then we'll start working on these. And then, like I said, that's it. She's master level everything she needs to be, and then we can just start dumping points in whatever's convenient. Like, we can just throw a rank in sword master because it makes her better at swords. Or we can throw a rank in disarm because we opened a chest and it blew up in our face, and we're like, oh no, thank you, you know. So we can raise that, and so on. Okay, so let's see. She's got the most hit points in the party. I'm going to go with meditation first. And then we'll do this. Hey, look at that. Zeroed her out. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, she's got the most, so let's jump over here to Tommy. Tommy. Tommy's got a lot of spell points, even without Meditation Master, but he needs that too. Let's see. We also need to get him, his spirit and mind need to be brought up as well. That's one of the reasons he's not using those skills, is because he only has 1 rank in them. I want to get these to 10. But let's do the same thing for him too. What do you think? Let's start with this, maybe? Start with meditation. Or should we bring up water? We could put a lot of ranks in water magic, you guys, and then he'd be so much better at town portal and stuff. Yes? So, yes, do you think meditation or water magic? I'll call it those two, because I don't want to create choice paralysis here. Because once we get to rank 7 in this, we can pretty much forget about it. I mean, if we put more points in it, he will continue to get more SP, but... Okay, meditation it is then. There we go. Now we've got ranks left over. Do you want to do bodybuilding master as well and raise his hit points up? That'll cause him to break 300. Even though he's not very good at it. And then we can get 2 people up to bodybuilding master with 1 trip. Should we do that, you think? Or dump everything into water magic? Alright then, there we go. Okay, and in fact we have 4 points left over. Let's put 1 each in spirit and mind. That'll zero him out and bring up 2 skills, his lowest level skills that he needs. Okay, now Debbie. My goodness gracious, Debbie. She's already a meditation master. Man, her weapon and armor skills have suffered so much. Bodybuilding she could do with diplomacy. We've not really used it a lot, but we've run into a few NPCs who, even with our saintly reputation, don't want to talk to us. Maybe we should get that up to master as well, and then we never have to mess with that again. But, you guys, we're not going to have another opportunity like this for a while. So even though these skills are suffering, and I know I said I really want to bring them up, at the same time, we're past the halfway point. We're coming in on the end of the game. She's got an artifact and 2 ultimate spells for these skills, and yet they're only rank 4. In order to start using them effectively, feel like maybe we should start putting some points in light and dark magic, guys. What do you think? Especially dark magic. Especially dark magic. Because both of them have some great buffs, but dark magic has like the best attack spells in the game, even though they're very expensive. So light magic is less useful, but it does have some good spells. Okay. Let's do that then. There. We'll get it. We'll call it at 10. And then let's see, we've got just enough to bring her up to bodybuilding master. Let's go ahead and do that too, because she has the fewest hit points. What do you say? And then we won't put any more ranks in that, probably. We'll get the maximum bonus from it at level 7, and then just leave it to, leave it alone. And then we'll do the same thing with light magic for her. We'll bring that up, and then we'll start working on these weapon skills, because she needs them. And if her air magic and earth magic never get maxed out, that's fine, because Tommy has those covered. Alright. There we go. And she's got 3 points left. There. Let's throw it in air magic. And, in fact, there we go. We got 5 ranks. Let's put that in bow. There, now we've made a concession, so now she's at 5 with all of these, and we did bring somebody's weapon skill up, so there we go. And everybody's got 0 skill points. Everyone is level 50. Pay no attention to this. That's her crown, of course, plus 5. Okay. Alright, you guys. Well, dang. We have really made some progress. We've leveled them up quite a lot. Look at that, 312, 420, blaze it. Oh, she broke 500 spell points. Nice. Now, of course, part of that is the crown, but still. 328, she broke 300 hit points, that's good. She's about to break 400 hit points, and she's got over 200 spell points. That's very respectable for a paladin, especially considering like that she now qualifies for Meditation Master, but we have not actually purchased the training yet, so she hasn't gotten the increased multiplier, so that's just with expert level. And he's about to break 400 spell points as well once we get him this. So, okay, guys. This has been good. So I am going to make a plan to go ahead and find all of the like expert and master trainers that we need based on what we just did. And I'm going to go around. There's no one, I don't think, that there's no skills that we qualify for in master or expert that you haven't already seen, except for the master bodybuilding trainer, who I think his name is Jason Traveler. And you know what? Actually, since you haven't seen him, and he's a new character for all that it matters, you know, when it comes to skill trainers at least, we're already here where he's at anyway. We'll just come right over here.
How are you?
And there we go. Master bodybuilding.
Yes.
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 See, watch their hit points drop. Because their maximums increase 340, 356, 420, blaze it. And of course, Zoltan needs to do that later. So, but yeah, that's really good. Okay, so now that means that there are no other masters or experts for which we currently qualify except for one. And so that you haven't seen already at some point during our adventures. So I will go around, I will buy spells, and I will get master level training and expert level training where applicable for everybody in all of the skills for which they qualify. And then when we come back next time, we've got a couple more adventures, and we'll see if we can fit 2 into one episode, or we'll see if we only have time for one, because there are some quests in Blackshire, which we've just not really explored. We've been there a bunch by this point, but I'm not really showing you around town still. So we have a couple of quests there. And we have a couple of quests in CherokeeStarfish, outside the castle, of course, which, likewise, we've only taken a brief tour of. We've flown over CherokeeStarfish, but not really explored it, so we'll do that as well. I think we'll probably do CherokeeStarfish first, and then we'll do Blackshire. We'll save that for last. And if you have a different opinion, of course, let me know in the comments. Message me here on Twitch. Comment on YouTube once I upload this to my YouTube channel tomorrow, or as soon as possible. And you can find a link down below this video to my YouTube, and vice versa. Of course, on my YouTube channel, there's also going to be a link back here to my Twitch channel. And in both places, you can find a link to my Twitter. You can find a link to my Facebook. If you care about it, then you can also find a link to my blog on Pillow Fort, if you're on Pillow Fort. So check all that out. Like this video if you enjoyed it. Please subscribe, turn on notifications, tell your friends, and spread the word. We'd love to have a bigger crowd in here. I appreciate all of you guys, and it's always fun when we get together and play like this. It really means a lot to me, and I'm glad that you guys are having a good time too. So spread the good cheer. The more the merrier, and we'll get wild for the second half of this game. So thank you so much for being here. I enjoyed that dungeon. I feel good that we finished it. We finally got that quest off of our plate, and we don't have to deal with any of the council lords anymore. We're done with that phase of the game. So just a little bit longer, guys. Just a few more dungeons, a few more quests, and then we are into the real end game. I hope you're looking forward to it as much as I am. I'll see you again next Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, here on Twitch. Come play with us live, and thank you for playing.